In this video, we're going to get started with running some things in Python to see the basic rules and stuff. We're probably going to take 3 videos to do chapter 1 of Automate the Boring Stuff. Alright, so we're going to start with just getting it loaded up and trying some things out. For this video, we'll show it in the terminal, and so we'll sort of switch between the terminal and using Python's idle editor. Okay, so if I want to start Python, I have the Python command, and so the first use of Python is just as a calculator. So let's just say that I wanted to do maybe some grades were 95, 80, and 100, all right, and I want to take an average. So you can use Python to do math that's just the same as using a calculator. All right, so that's one thing. If you have Python running, use it as a calculator. Maybe I want to do maybe I just want to multiply some numbers, so 5 times 15 times 3. So the arithmetic, all the arithmetic stuff that you can do on a calculator is the same. So what is 10 minus 8? 2. What is 8 minus 10? Negative 2. 1 is 2. 1 plus 2 times 3. And this is one where you have to pay attention to order of operations, just like your calculator has order of operations. Multiplication comes before addition. So the way this is evaluated by Python is just like you had parentheses. Okay, so 1/2 is 0.5. In programming, there's sometimes we need to have division where you round the result and have a remainder. If you were in elementary school and you did, say, 25 divided by 3, that's 8.3, but you might write it as 8 remainder 1. 8 times 3 is 24, and then you have 1 left. So 8 times 3 plus 1 is 25. And there's a way to get this 8 and this remainder. If we do 25//3, that divides and rounds it down. If you do 25% 3, that gets the remainder, which in programming we call that a modulus from math. So we'll pronounce this as 25 mod 3. Let's try some others. Let's say that we have 20 divided by 7. That's 2 point something. What if I do 20//7? 2, and what would the remainder be? 6. All right, so we have plus, minus, times, divide. We have integer division, remainder, and there's one other arithmetic operation that we have. We have ** is for taking a power or doing exponentiation. So 10 to the 3rd power is the same as saying 10 times 10 times 10. If I did, let's say 3 ** 3, that would be the same as saying 3 times 3 times 3. If I did, let's say 2 ** 4, that would be like taking 4 2's. Okay, and we can also do fractional powers. So 100 to the 1/2 power. 1/2 is the same as saying square root. Square root of 100 is 10. If we did, let's say 16 star star 0.5. What is the square root of 16? 4. Okay, so we can do fractional powers, and which gives us square roots as well. All right, so those are the arithmetic operators. I'm going to take a look over here at other operators. So these are the basic tools that we have to do math. All right, so we just did all of these arithmetic operators. Those are the ones that you're used to. And then there's remainder and exponentiation. So this page here lists out all the other operators in Python, and we will look at some of these. Okay, so a lot of the rest of these aren't particularly useful unless we have variables. So we're going to go ahead and make a variable. X equals 3. Okay, so what Python does when I run this expression is it takes whatever the value is over here, 3, and stores it in a place in memory that we call x. So now if I do x times 4, it's going to get the value of x and put it into this. Okay, and I can have other variables. Y equals 7. Now if I do x times y, what am I going to get? 3 times 7 is 21. Now what if I do x equals x times y? All right, so what are the values of x and y now? When we have an assignment, okay, so the order of operations when we have an equal here, so this equal is called an assignment operator. That's for saving a value. We figure out what's over here, what is the value of this, and then whatever that value is, we're going to save it into this spot in memory. All right, so what is x plus times y at this point? There's a 7 for y, and there was a 3 for x. So if we had just done x times y here, it would have been 21, which we had right there. So we're going to take that value and save it into x. So now x is 21. All right, what would happen if we do x equals x times y again? So what it's going to do is first it's going to evaluate x times y. It'll do this, which is 147. And then that gets saved into x. Now x is 147. All right, so now we have variables. Let's talk about some of these other expressions, operators. So comparison operators tell us whether things are bigger, smaller, or the same. So let's see. Is 3 less than 5? It is, and Python says true. Is 3 greater than 5? False. Is 3 equal to 5? False. Is 3 not equal to 5? True. True that it's not equal to 5. Okay, so that is comparison. Now, what if I do 3 less than 3? 3 is not less than 3. 3 less than or equal to 3. That's true. Okay. So we have all these different options here. If we want to combine some of those together, let's say that I have a score which is, let's call my score 82. That's a grade on some assignment, and I want to check to see, is this a B? So I want to check, is score at least 80? It is. Is score less than 90? It is. Now if I want to combine both of those, one way to do that is by saying score greater than or equal to 80 and score is less than 90. Okay, so both of those are true. Now if I set score equal to 92 again, then this would be true, but this would be false. And what AND does is it's only going to give you true if both sides are true. So that's false. This AND is called a Boolean operator. Boolean just means true or false, named after George Boole. Okay. Boolean, named after a guy named George Boole. Okay. There's also OR. So the way OR works is it tests whether either OR is true. This one here is true. This one here is false. Together the OR makes it true. It's just checking is at least one of them. Okay, so that's AND and OR, and that's to combine together things where you want to check two conditions. There's also NOT. So NOT just flips the answer between true and false. All right, so we go inside the parenthesis. Is score at least 80? It is, so this would be sitting here, and that would be true. Now the NOT will flip the answer. False. Okay, so we have our comparison operators, we have our AND, OR, and NOT. Those are the basic ones that we need to get started with interesting programming. So we'll come back to the rest of these a bit later. That's enough for now. So what we're going to do in the next video is we'll move on to looking at data types. All right, so we're building up some of the basics